Hey everybody, today's episode of New on Music Row features two powerhouses from Georgia, a guy from Knoxville, Tennessee, somebody from Hershey, Pennsylvania, I'm sure he likes chocolate, and last but not least, Jacksonville, Florida, I'm sure he's a Jaguars fan. But all of this information is coming up on today's episode of New on Music Row. You don't want to miss a single second right here on the Rise Network. Well, hello, everybody. This week's episode of New on Music Row is here ready for you, jam-packed with all kinds of information, especially stuff with new artists involved. So let's jump right into it, take a look at what happened last week. The five picks from last week, rather, started off with Zach Top, a guy who I think you guys need to have on your radar if you don't already. When You See Me, the title of the song that just released last week, he's already at like 1.1 million streams. Now, if you didn't know who Zach Top was, 1.1 million streams in a week is like huge. So this guy's got some huge power behind him. Not only that, but he's also got like this really cool, like, I don't even know how to describe it, but like he's got George Jones wrapped into like George Strait, wrapped into like, well, he's not crazy like Garth Brooks, like Garth does on stage, but he's got all the singing songwriting of Garth Brooks. I mean, he's just got Alan Jackson talent inside of him as well too. That's really who he reminds me of, is Alan Jackson. So if you haven't taken a look at him, make sure you do, because this guy, even though his last name is Top, is really headed for the top. So let's move on. We got Bro Country from Hardy, which was, like I said, a tribute, so to speak, or maybe a solo or farewell to Bro Country. 981,360 streams last week. This song, if you haven't checked it out, listen to it, because if you were into country music in like the 2000s, like the 2010 to like 2023, then you know what Bro Country is, and this is a song that tears it down a little bit, but it's all tongue-in-cheek, right? Then we had Riley Green's Make It Rain. No surprise here, 1.9 million streams from last week. And of course, I mean, Riley's career just catapulting into the next stratosphere, maybe because of who he's with. I don't know. Anyway, we had Ashley Ryan, Fire in the Sky, 12,000 streams. I featured her as the artist that you should be paying a little bit more attention to. Take a listen to it. Take a listen to some of Ashley's stuff. Listen to Hush Little Baby. I think you're going to enjoy her, and I think she's going to be one of the next upcoming artists to watch. Also, check out Reload from her as well. And then last but not least, we had a really cool, awesome song, Jack and Jill Daniels, rather. Emily Ann Roberts on that one. Of course, she's from Knoxville, Tennessee. This song did a lot better than I thought it was going to. 222,000 streams, rather. So like 222,000, almost 200 streams last week. A great song from her. Check it out. It's really a cool song. Got a cool like story into it, which is missing from some country songs that are out nowadays. A lot of the pop stuff. But anyway, so those are the 5 picks from last week. What do you think? Leave the comments as you always do. By the way, I appreciate them as well. Let me know how things are faring for you. You got somebody you want me to take a look at? Let me know about that. You've got other songs you want me to take a listen to? Shoot them my way. Let me know. And of course, we'll always feature great stuff. Speaking of featuring great stuff, the 5 picks for this week, jam-packed with a ton of powerhouses. Jason Aldean is leading off the mark here. How Far Does a Goodbye Go? That's coming out today. Of course, Jason from Macon, Georgia. Do I really need to speak too much about him? I know a guy who knows his drummer, and he helped him out with some things on one of the tracks that he was trying to do. So I know that Jason is a hot commodity, and, being able to work with somebody like his drummer, I mean, that's pretty cool, right? If you don't know Jason, well, then you probably are new to country music, because She's Country was the song that kind of pretty much put him on the map. Big Green Tractor, rather, another great song from him. That's kind of a family favorite, so to speak. If I Didn't Love You, well, if I didn't love you, then, what would I be doing here, right? Great duet with Carrie Underwood. And for some people, that's got like a little bit of a message to it, some interesting things going on there. His last single, Whiskey Drink, absolutely amazing. I think that catapulted to the stratosphere as well. But again, Jason Aldean, I mean, what else can we say? Oh, and then also check out Dirt Road Anthem if you haven't listened to that song from him as well. There's a reason I'm mentioning that. We'll get to that a little bit later in the episode. Up next, Luke Bryan and Dan Seals. That's a name from the past, and exactly who you think it is. If you don't know who Dan Seals is, just look up some like 70s yacht rock and you'll see him in there as well. Seals and Croft. Anyway, of course, Luke Bryan from Leesburg, Georgia. The song that's coming out this week is Everything That Glitters Is Not Gold. And it's kind of a cool, fun song as well. Luke Bryan, again, I mean, he's got so many great hits in his wardrobe, we'll call it. You know, his catalog. That's the word I was looking for. Country Song Came On is the one that's on the radio right now. I love that song. It's a great. That's a great story in and of itself. Country Girl Shake It For Me. Well, yeah, okay. What guy doesn't want a country girl to shake it for her, right? Yeah, I mean, whatever. I Don't Want This Night to End. He's got. You see the theme he's got going on here. He's a very, provocative individual. Let's put it that way. And then last but not least, Knockin' Boots. So there you go. That's the end of that story there. Moving on from Knoxville, Tennessee, we've got Rodney Atkins making a comeback. Hell of It is the title of the track that he's got coming out this week. Rodney Atkins, I mean, great songs from him. Watching You, that's a great song about a father and a son. Take a Back Road, another great song from him. Farmer's Daughter, that's a great, fun, like outside hanging out, beer drinking song. If You're Going Through Hell before the devil even knows, another great song from him as well. And then one of my favorites, These Are My People. Rodney making a comeback we'll see if he gets into the charts with that new release that's coming out today. It's a cool song. I think it's got some power, but you guys are the ones that can tell. Moving on, Warren Ziders from Hershey, Pennsylvania, the guy who I said probably likes chocolate. He likes writing great outlaw country, though, that's for sure. Only Bible is the name of the song that he's got coming out this week. Warren Ziders on the newer side, but kind of just blew into the scene right when the outlaw country thing was really getting popular. His name surfaced and he just grew rapidly. Some great stuff to check out from him. Pretty Little Poison, Relapse, that's my favorite song from him. Heartbreaker. I also like Weeping Willow, and last but not least, Up to No Good. That's the song that's on repeat this week. I really dove deep into Warren this week, and I got to tell you, this guy, he knows outlaw country. And if you like outlaw country, you should be listening to Warren Ziders. And last but not least, new out this week, Matt Cooper's Real Fast Car. He's from Jacksonville, Florida, not to be confused with my former radio teacher, who also was named Matt Cooper, which was kind of funny for me. You're probably not laughing at that joke, but I am inside, so that's all that matters. But anyway, he's an up-and-coming artist. He's going to be the rising star. He's going to be in the Rising Star Spotlight this week. Great songs from him, of course. Real Fast Car, check that out. It's a great song. I think it's the one that's going to kind of produce him or push him up into the next level of stardom. Other great songs to check out from him. Ain't Met Up Yet. That's one that kind of put him on the map. He got a ton of TikTok views for that one. Highs and Lows. There's also an acoustic version too. And if you've been watching the show pretty regularly, you know that I love acoustic versions of songs. That's the same thing here with Highs and Lows as well. Check it out. If you like acoustic versions of songs, I think you're going to enjoy it as well. Also, This Room, Something Beautiful, which is the other song that's on repeat for me this week. And then he's got a really cool song called Hey Rose. And we'll talk a little bit more about Matt Cooper in just a second because, like I said, he's going to be the Rising Star Spotlight of the week. So, taking a look at the 5 picks of the week, we started off with Jason Aldean. How far does a goodbye go? It's probably going to be a long time before that song comes off the radio playlist. Let's just be honest, right? It's Jason Aldean. We got Luke Bryan and Dan Seals. Everything That Glitters Is Not Gold. Check that one out if you haven't listened to it yet. Hell of It by Rodney Atkins. Only Bible by Warren Ziders, a great outlaw country artist there. And then Real Fast Car from Matt Cooper, who, like I said, is going to be featured in the Rising Star Spotlight. So those are the 5 picks of the week. Take a listen to them. You can also find them in the playlist, the new On Music Row playlist, exclusively on Spotify. Every song that we feature in the 5 picks of the week is on that list. Every once in a while, I throw a couple other nuggets in there for you as well, just some things maybe we talked about on the show. A little bit of flashback every once in a while. I'll give you some old music to listen to, just to kind of round out your whole country palette, so to speak. But those are the 5 picks of the week, so check them out. Like I said, they're on the playlist on Spotify right now. Check it out. It's new on Music Row, the playlist. You'll be able to see all the songs we featured on all the episodes so far. So the Rising Star Spotlight of the week, Matt Cooper. Who is this guy? Well, he's from Jacksonville, Florida, and he's got a pretty interesting story. Didn't start writing until he was in his 20s at college. Of course, COVID kind of helped him produce and write a lot of the other stuff that he did. And that's kind of what helped a lot of these artists. Like when they were kind of stuck at home, a lot of these singer-songwriters, they just really like went to the pen and paper, so to speak, and just wrote out a bunch of stuff. Matt Cooper, of course, no different. He went from being unknown to having a #1 iTunes songs on the all genre songs chart. And it's all, of course, thanks to the magic of social media. Like I was saying a little bit earlier, he put his song up on social media, TikTok to be exact. Ain't Met Up Yet is a song there. You probably, if you are on TikTok, you've probably heard it, or you've probably seen it, or maybe you heard it like in the background of somebody's other video or something like that. But that's pretty much what opened the doors for him. And like he said in a recent interview, he just literally like phone call after phone call after phone call. The minute that he went #1, like he said, like 15 people he never met in his entire life called him. And that's kind of the thing that started him. Now, here's kind of why he's kind of bumped into the spotlight. He said Ed Sheeran is one of his influencers, Taylor Swift. He loves Dan and Shay, and he's really one of those country pop artists. If you listen to his music, you can hear Dan and Shay and their melodies and stuff in his music. You can hear Ed Sheeran and the stuff he does, and Taylor Swift. He really likes to write his songs. I will call him like the male Taylor Swift of country music, like the pop genre of country music, because that's what he does. He likes to take songs, he likes to write songs about people's love lives and then turn them into country songs. So it's kind of an interesting way to write things. He says every song he writes, he's only got one simple goal in mind. Like I said, he wants to know how he can take someone's love story and turn it into a country fairy tale. And if you listen to like Ain't Met Up Yet, if you listen to This Room, Something Beautiful, really honestly is kind of the one that made me go, oh yeah, wow. You can really hear the influences in that song, and you can really hear how he writes that, country fairy tale love song as well. Now, when he was asked how he would describe himself, he says he's driven. He says, I think that ever since I got into this industry, I'm always figuring out ways to get better and better and give the world something that has the potential to change people's lives. And that's the reason why I'm focusing him, or featuring him rather, on the Rising Star Spotlight this week. He really is trying to tailor his music to help those individuals that, maybe you need a push. And that's like what got me into music as a kid. Like I would listen to stuff, and if I got into a mood or something like that, music would help me get out of that mood. And a lot of people have shared that that's what they do. When they get into a mood, whether it's a good mood or a bad mood, music is just like the universal language, I saw a saying somewhere that says when words can't speak anymore, music speaks volumes. So I'm paraphrasing there a little bit. That's not exactly what it said, but you get the point of it. Sometimes when words aren't enough, songs kind of speak and breathe more life into you. So here's to the singer-songwriters that are out there doing what they do. Keep doing it, because this is the encouragement right here that you need to realize that it's just going to take 1 or 2 songs and boom, you're going to be in there. And this guy, he's like 20, 21 years old, so his career is just literally starting. Again, his name is Matt Cooper. He's from Jacksonville, Florida, and he's also part of the 5 Picks of the Week. The song we're featuring from him this week is Real Fast Car. Like I said earlier, that'll be on the playlist on Spotify. You can find it there exclusively. But check out some of his other stuff. Check out This Room. Check out Something Beautiful. Really check out Something Beautiful, because, like I said, that's the one that really made me go, yeah, you can hear like the Dan and Shay influences, the Taylor Swift influences, even the Ed Sheeran influences. Like even when he sings, you can hear a little bit. He's got like an Ed Sheeran quality to his voice. So, but he's not even from over across the pond. He's from here. So that's interesting as well too. Anyway, Matt Cooper, the featured artist, the Rising Star Spotlight of the week. Check him out. You're going to want to, because sooner or later, he's going to be a household name for everybody. Moving on, taking a look at birthdays and, things going on in country music history on this date, of course, September the 12th. There's actually 2 really cool birthdays today. Born in 1974, a little gal who was, she's in a band. It's called Sugarland. I mean, she's no big deal, right? Yeah, no, of course. Jennifer Nettles, celebrating. We won't say how old she is. I know exactly how old she is, because I was born in 74 as well, too. But, of course, Jennifer Nettles celebrating her birthday today. American Grammy-winning country music artist. If you didn't know who she is, she's in at one point it was Sugarland was a trio, and she was in the trio. She was the lead singer, but then due to other circumstances, another person decided to drop out. Then Sugarland became a duo, and she's got hit after hit after hit, and even in her solo career as well too. So if you don't know who Jennifer Nettles is, check her out. I think you're going to fall in love with her. Even Sugarland. Like my favorite song from Sugarland is "Stuck Like Glue." I love that song. All right, so happy birthday, Jennifer Nettles, and then also today. Born on this date, 1993, from Knoxville, Tennessee, a gal who she's been in I think she's been a CoverGirl spokesperson. What else has she done? She's got other commercials going on as well too. She's got so much branding going on, her own clothes line. I think she's even got her own cosmetic line. But she has a song called Baggage. Do you know who I'm talking about yet? Yeah. The Kelsey Ballerini fans know, and that's who is celebrating a birthday today. Of course, she scored 4 #1 singles, basically starting right off with her debut album. Love Me Like You Mean It was the one that kind of catapulted her into stardom. It also made her the first female artist to send a debut single to the top of the chart, and that didn't happen since Carrie Underwood back in 2006. So happy birthday, Kelsey Ballerini, of course, born on this date, 1993. That's like the year after I graduated high school. Yikes. Anyway, all right. Some of you just started to feel really old, me included. Let's take a look at stuff. Speaking of old, let's take a look at stuff in the country music history charts. Back in 1966, a gal by the name of Loretta Lynn released a song called You Ain't Woman Enough. It became her first #1 album on the U.S. Billboard Hot Country Artist Albums chart, as well as her first album to chart on the Billboard Top LPs chart. The album's only single was "Ain't Woman Enough." I think we're going to throw it in the playlist, just to kind of feature, a song that you may or may not have heard. But it was released in May of 1966. It became Lynn's biggest hit up to that point. It peaked at #2 on the U.S. Billboard Hot Country Singles Chart, and it was released September 12th, 1966. Moving ahead to 1986, 20 years later, Alabama released "Touch Me When We're Dancing." I think they named that song wrong. But anyway, it went to #1 on the country charts. It was their 20th #1 in a row. They had 21 consecutive #1 singles in as many releases. And it spanned from I think it was 1980 through 1987. The song was also recorded by the Carpenters in 1981. Mickey Gilley and Charlie McClain for their 1984 duet album did it as well, too. A great song from Alabama, but, I mean, what has Alabama done that's not great, right? Moving ahead to 1999, the Farm Aid 1999 benefit concert took place at the Nissan Pavilion in Bristow, Virginia. It was held to raise money for family farmers in the U.S. The concerts and everything were organized by Willie Nelson, John Mellencamp, Neil Young, and it included great artists, Susan Chedzi, Keb Mo, Dina Carter, Bare Naked Ladies, Dave Matthews Band, John Mellencamp, Willie Nelson, and of course Neil Young as well. That happening on September 12th, 1999. And then a gal who we talked about a little bit earlier because she was somebody's influence, she released a song called Love Story back in 2008. That gal, of course, Taylor Swift. It was the lead single from her second studio album, Fearless. The song was basically a commercial success. I would say that this is where she kind of transitioned from being a country artist into the pop that she now does, so to speak. It sold over 18 million copies worldwide, and then, like I said, it established herself among one of the best-selling singles of all time. In the United States, the song peaked at #4 on the Billboard Hot 100 and sold over 9 million paid digital downloads. It was Swift's best-selling single to date, and it was once the best-selling download by a female country artist as well. And then last but not least, going all the way to 2023, a song came out then from a guy named Zach Bryan and a gal named Casey Musgraves called I Remember Everything. Now, you remember that song as well, and you're nodding your head as well, too. It was #1 on the country singles chart this week in 2023. And at the 66th Annual Grammy Awards, the song was nominated for Best Country Song and Best Country Duo Group Performance. And it actually won for Best Country Duo Group Performance as well. Commercially, the song debuted at #1 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100, becoming both Bryan and Musgrave's first #1 songs. A great song if you haven't checked it out as well. And that's a look at what happened on this date in country music history. Again, if you got a birthday shout-out you want to give out, please leave it in the comments below. You hit me up on socials, and we can add it to the list of things that we talk about as well. So, moving on, the last portion of the show. Save this portion for a couple of reasons. Remember earlier I said, remember the Dirt Road Anthem song? Yeah, last week, kind of under the radar, Brantley Gilbert released a song called Want You Back, and I really think that we should be listening to that. If you know anything about Brantley Gilbert, he has got an amazing, incredible story, and this song, I think it's going to be another one of those great songs from him. Now, the thing about Brantley is he's kind of like a rock kind of guy, but he's rock country or country rock, depending upon how you want to label that. So he's not like in the mainstream per se, but of course, Bottoms Up was a huge hit for him. So if you know that song, then you know who I'm talking about. But he's got a really, 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 really like intriguing story. And if you're looking for somebody to check out on tour, he's on tour right now as well. Make sure you check his website for all those tour dates as well. Of course, like I said, he's from Jefferson, Georgia. And like at 19, he was a college student at Georgia College and State University. He was on track to become a marriage and relationship counselor. And he was also working as a counselor for special needs children as well. So he was already like in a whole different world, so to speak. He was going to be helping people, doing the good work, so to speak. And then traumatic car accident happened, and he was like critically injured. And he had significant memory loss, which also ended his academic career as well. And that's when he said songs helped him get through things. Remember earlier I was telling you about how songs can help people get through moods and stuff like that? Here is the prime example, and that's why I kind of did all this and came to this portion of that segment, so to speak, just to say that if you listen to Brantley Gilbert's records, you listen to his singles and everything, there's just this... there's just this underlying, almost therapeutic quality to some of his stuff, especially like in the good times and the bad times as well. But Gilbert has said that the writing songs helped him recapture some of his lost memories. He said the accident inspired him to dedicate himself to his music career. And you can hear that in a phenomenal song from him called Halfway to Heaven. It details the events. And if you've ever read like any books or anything like that about people who have had that heaven experience, like where they die and then they come back and they said they've experienced heaven, that's all right there in that song. So although we're featuring Want You Back from Brantley Gilbert as the song that you should be listening to this week, the real spotlight this week, check out Halfway to Heaven. Check out Gone by Now. Check out One Hell of an Amen. I love that song. Check out The Weeknd, Kick It in the Sticks. And like I said, you probably know Brantley Gilbert because his biggest hit, Bottoms Up, was out on the charts for quite some time. I mean, how do you go from being like a marriage counselor, like family counselor, and then boom, you're now this successful country rock artist? I mean, that song is inspiring enough to me to make me want to like go do like other things as well too, and hopefully it inspires you too. Plus, like I said, Jason Aldean, he wrote a couple of songs with Jason Aldean, Dirt Road Anthem, My Kind of Party. He's got some great songwriting as well too. So check him out if you haven't checked him out already. Like I said, he's that country rock artist, so he may not have been on your radar, so to speak, or maybe he is, and maybe you know all about him, and you're like, dude, that guy rocks. Well, then there you go. I'm telling you, he rocks. So check it out. Brantley Gilbert's I Want You Back came out last week, released under the radar, not too much publicity going on about it, and I caught it, and I was like, oh, man, wow, this song is absolutely amazing. So, again, thank you guys so much for allowing me to share all this with you. Appreciate you watching, the views, the comments, the resubscribes, the subscribes, the repostings, everything. You guys, you don't know how much it means to me, and of course all of us here at the Rise Network totally appreciate your love and support, and we love you and we support you as well too. Next episode coming up, of course, next week, going to be jam-packed with some great stuff. We'll look at what we talked about this week as far as the 5 picks are concerned, and there'll be more 5. There'll be a whole new set of 5 picks to listen to and even talk about as well. But you can only get it here on the Rise Network. We're available in podcast form on Spotify and also Apple Music. And of course, you can check the video feature, or the video version. Like I said, this is called like a vodcast. The video version, if you want to see me and my hippie hair, you can see that on YouTube. So make sure you check it out. People love the show. I hope you do as well. And you know what? We'll see you next week. And until then, I'll see you on the flip side.